Hey everybody, welcome. This is Teacher Kieran, and we're looking at Grammar, Space Beginner, Book 9, Book 3, Unit 9, and we're going to be looking at past simple. The verb be, positive and negative. So I was very scared. We use the past simple to talk about something that happened in the past. The verb be has two forms, was and were. We often use the past simple with these words: yesterday, last week, last year, etc. I was a teacher last year. He was in London last week. She was in London last week. It was in London last week. We were sick yesterday. You were sick yesterday. They were sick yesterday. And the negative, I was not a teacher last year. Or we can use the short form. I wasn't a teacher last year. He wasn't in London last week. She wasn't in London last week. It wasn't in London last week. We were not sick yesterday. You, short form, you weren't sick yesterday. They weren't sick yesterday. There was a big storm last night. I was very scared. Bob wasn't the captain of our team. Dave was the captain. All right, let's go look in our workbook and get some practice with this. So we have boring, huge, sunny, and happy. The dinosaurs were boring? I don't think so. We're happy? Probably not. So we're going to say were huge, okay? It's something this morning. Take a look, the sun is there. So look guys, just so you know, dinosaurs were. It's just one thing, was sunny this morning. The magic show, again, one thing was, it doesn't look very happy, was boring. My parents, something in Paris. My parents too, were happy in Paris. Circle the correct words. He, something tired yesterday. All right. So, excuse me, not he, we, I can't read. We were tired yesterday. It, something hot last week. It was. I, something at home this morning. I was. Jessica wasn't tall last year. Jessica weren't tall last year. Wasn't. Tony and Molly, something scared. Weren't. That should be very easy by now. If you guys had trouble with that, go back to the earlier units and practice. Choose and complete the sentences in the past simple. Not rainy. Betty's bike, not rainy? So we have not rainy, not quiet, not fun, new, or strong. Okay, so it wasn't old. That's our clue, guys. So it's got to be new. So Betty's bike, now look, wasn't. So that tells us we're going to use the past simple. Was new. Betty's bike was new. It wasn't old. Remember, we can use it when we already know what we are talking about. They were noisy. Not quiet, right? They weren't quiet. Sam, something last year. He wasn't weak. Wasn't. So it's got to be strong. Sam was strong last year. He wasn't weak. The story was boring. Something not fun. Okay, it wasn't fun. It was cloudy this morning. It wasn't rainy. Let's try again. Betty's bike was new. It wasn't old. They were noisy. They weren't quiet. Sam was strong last year. He wasn't weak. The story was boring. It wasn't fun. It was cloudy this morning. It wasn't rainy. Change and rewrite the sentences using the short negative forms. Okay, the negative. I was 12 years old last year. So the negative of that, not I wasn't 12 years old last year. Bella was my classmate. So Bella, one person, wasn't my classmate. The presents, more than one, were big. The presents weren't big. He was in the art room. No, he wasn't. He wasn't in the art room. Their socks were wet. Are you sure? Their socks weren't wet, okay? I wasn't 12 years old last year. So I was 12 years old last year. I wasn't 12 years old last year. Bella was my classmate. Bella wasn't my classmate. The presents were big. The presents weren't big. He was in the art room. He wasn't in the art room. Their socks were wet. Their socks weren't wet. Complete the passage with was or were. It's winter. Winter is my favorite season. I enjoy ice skating in winter. It something very cold last year. Okay, it was very cold last year, but my sister and I, two people, weren't at the ice rink all day. It was very cold yesterday. I don't know why I said last year. But my sister and I weren't at the ice rink all day. I was sick last night. My sister was sick too. We were not at school today. We were at home all day. It was really boring. Okay, let's try again. It's winter. Winter is my favorite season. I enjoy ice skating in winter. It was very cold yesterday, but my sister and I weren't at the ice rink all day. I was sick last night. My sister was sick too. We were not at school today. We were at home all day. It was really boring. Test station, choose the correct answers. There, something, two boys in the room. Two boys. So bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hello. Easy, right, guys? There were two boys in the room. We something soccer players last year. We wasn't, bye-bye. Aren't, no, it's got to be past tense. Last year, more than one, weren't. We weren't soccer players last year. The bird, something in the cage yesterday. The bird is, cannot be, just one bird, cannot be. It's got to be was, last, yesterday is your clue. Was. The bird was in the cage yesterday. Choose the wrong words and correct them. My brother is 10 last year. He is 11 now. What? It's got to be this one, right, guys? My brother, what should it be? Not is, was. I not was in the kitchen. I was in the garden. All right. So I was not. It's all backwards. So it should be like this. I was not or I wasn't, right? Not in the kitchen. I was in the garden. Alice and Beth are sick last week. Now they are okay. Alice and Beth last week already happened. Cannot be are, guys. It's got to be, what is it? Yeah. Were. Let's practice again. My brother was 10 last year. He is 11 now. I was not in the kitchen. I was in the garden. Alice and Beth were sick last week. Now they are okay. All right, you guys, pretty straightforward. This unit I thought was quite easy. I hope you did too. We'll see you in the next unit.